They contain the semen and also provide a barrier for vaginal fluids, also provide a barrier for blood, and lubricated condoms or condoms used with lubrication can often reduce that risk of those micro tears. For skin to skin, condoms cover some skin, but if you think about it, male condoms only cover certain amounts of skin, as with female condoms as well. So there's still some skin involved just by the nature of sexual activity. So that's why we say only most STIs, not all. It's not foolproof.
Dirty, smelly, maybe a whore.
People who have STIs are promiscuous.
It happens. Like, I don't know, it doesn't make me think less of them. If I know they're like, you know, a very promiscuous person, like, and they're not safe about it, it's different.
I think that I probably, yeah, would think that they sleep around more.
Maybe more promiscuous, maybe less careful, maybe take a risk taker.
I mean, it's probably different generally for guys or girls what people project on them, but probably that they're dirty and they're a whore of sorts, or just maybe that they're not too smart.
Like, you could have sex one time and get AIDS, so it's, I don't know, anything's possible.
Yeah, I think meeting someone, if they said, you know, by the way, I have herpes, I would immediately think you're kind of a whore.
Well, I'd ask them what it was, and I would think before I had sex with them.
Who gets an STI? It doesn't really matter. STIs don't discriminate. It could happen once, it could happen with one sexual encounter, it could happen if somebody has a lot of sexual encounters.
People who have STIs, when a large percentage of the population does, it creates a lot of ignorance and a lot of, I guess, unwillingness to go get tested. So, you know, stigma is definitely a negative thing, which more people need to work at.
Dots.
A symptom? Itching, burning, urination, painful sexual intercourse.
None.
Rashes.
Most common symptom? I don't know.
The most common symptom for an STI is no symptom at all.
In this environment, very common.
College environment, yeah, definitely above average.
Like 1 in 5, 1 in 3.
Or like 40% of all college kids have HPV or something like that. It's ridiculous.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe like 1 in 20?
I'd say at least 1 in 5 people, 2 in 5 people have an STI, and like probably 80% of them, 70% of them don't even know about it.
90%, 35.
I would say 15 to 30%.
I'd say 50.
Pretty much it's about 1 in 4 college students have an STI. The CDC also came out recently, about a couple months ago, with a new study that said 1 in 4 teenage girls have an STI or will contract an STI in their teenage years. That's a little bit even scarier, because if you think about it, if that's just for females, not even including the males, then it's definitely higher than 1 in 4.
As far as I'm concerned, if you have something, you should tell your partner about it. But, you know, it's an awkward thing to bring up. You know, you're getting hot and heavy with someone and you can't be like, stop and be like, hey, do you have anything that I should know about? Because it's weird.
I don't think there's enough communication or education that causes us to have more stigma in society. But
there's not enough knowledge at all.
Some people are more judgmental because they don't realize that people close to them have it.
Yeah. If I had something and I was thinking of hooking up with someone at a party, I would feel like really awkward about saying something. And honestly, you wouldn't tell them until things were getting really hot and heavy in a room alone. And then, you know, right at the last minute, you would probably go, oh, by the way. If you even say it then, because you don't want, I mean, if you're interested in somebody, you don't want them to change their mind just because you have an STD.
this?
I think it's really important, but it doesn't really happen a lot at parties or in the moment.
I don't know. I feel like most of the time you don't ask.
I think there's individuals who will be very honest with their partner, and they'll let them know, and they'll say, hey, this is something that I have, this is something that I've been exposed to. Other individuals feel really uncomfortable, and they feel that there's such stigma and such negativity towards their STI that they don't want to share it with their partner, and then therefore their partner's at risk for contracting it. So I think it's really important of just breaking that kind of door open, or really building that kind of trust between your partner and being honest with them.